It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
And he don't need another hero. He don't need another way home. All he wants is life beyond the Thunderdome. It's Murray.
Yo.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Yes, let's rage on. This may be a very rage-filled episode, which I'm very excited about. But first, we are going to... I can't even get my shit together. No, this isn't it.
Yeah,
This
Jim.
isn't it.
What
This
the hell?
isn't it. What is all this? This week on the podcast,
Okay, then.
we're going to talk about 3 films we saw in theaters.
That's a lot.
Some streaming movies we viewed. Open Rage, Murman Minute, the list. Will Rai make the Undoubted list? Just wait to find out. Rage or dare. Then we sign off and focus our attention on all the horror event podcasts to get caught up. Which reminds me, everybody who's listening, please also check out All the Horror 18 on Instagram and Twitter, as well as you go to allthehorror18.wixsite.com, and then also check out scaresthatcare.org. Be prepared next week when we will be doing our special spooky edition of the horror with the best little horror house in Philly and Georgie, just like in that It Clown movie.
Sure.
Well, what did we see in theaters? But wait, I have a commercial first.
That's what I'm waiting for, mate. There, Jim.
Shoot the flick. I love these guys.
Hey there, this is Frankie Sparks.
And this is Scott Eisenberg.
We're married.
And we have a podcast called Shoot the Flick.
Every week, Scott and I introduce each other to a new movie the other one has never seen. We talk about it, give our thoughts on it, and also share some behind-the-scenes fun facts.
We want you guys to come along and enjoy the movies with us.
Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Shoot the Flick, and check out our weekly episodes every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and pretty much anywhere else you can find a podcast.
Come and listen to us now as Frankie and I
Shoot the Flick!
Oh, I love those
Alrighty
guys. Oh, they're the best buddies on Instagram and Twitter.
I think it's Instagram.
Oh,
You
it's
don't want people to get confused and
Twitter.
punch
too.
in INSTO.
Instagram?
It's an
Twitter.
Instagram.
No, that's wrong as well.
Instorgrams?
I don't know. Maybe
It's like when you weigh your potatoes. Instagrams on the potato wheel.
I don't know anything about the social medias.
That's right. You're,
Well,
you're better off, trust me.
Just search Shoot the Flick. I'm not going to say that 5 times fast. And tell Frankie and Scotty Film Rage sent you.
What's that?
All right.
Yeah. Okay, then.
Let's talk movies.
What we saw in theaters last week.
Oh.
Well, we saw On the Rocks, a new Bill Murray movie with directed by Sophia Coppola.
Isn't it more of a Sophia Coppola movie with Bill Murray in it?
I would say.
Sure.
Just checking.
Just checking. So, yeah, daughter reconnects with her dad. That's pretty much the movie.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Nailed it, yeah.
I did not expect this to be a wacky comedy, but that's sort of what it is. With some fairly formulaic and ridiculous situations, it plays out like an episode of Three's Company. Only it's well written and funny. Bill Murray is in top form and Rashida Jones is able to play off his brilliance. This movie has one major fault, and that is its uninspired ending, with everyone just sort of forgiving each other and moving on with no real motivation to do so. But I guess sometimes that's the way it is with family. I don't know.
Not my family. I hate some of the bitches in my family.
Still, ending aside, this movie had great performances and many laugh out loud moments, which at the end of the day, even though I had a major issue with the ending,
Don't do it. It's not. Don't do it. Don't do it. It is
Mondo.
It is not Mondo. Oh.
So not.
It is so not a
It is
Mondo.
Mondo.
No, it's not. Okay, now let me break this down for you.
Break it down.
So we saw this at either you can see it, like I said, Landmark or Cineplex. Either one of them were playing it. It's kind of the big release of last week.
Yeah.
We saw it at
Someplace. Landmark.
no, Cineplex. Saw it at the West
So
Hills.
We saw it at the Landmark.
Oh.
So-
well, maybe that's why I got the West.
You got the terrible
I got
Cineplex
I got the
version.
Cineplex version,
And I
which
got the
apparently
Landmark.
is better than the one you watched.
No, I don't think so. Sophia Coppola,
Is awesome.
I feel, may become
Love her.
the new and improved old Woody Allen.
Okay,
Think like Hannah and
Yeah,
her sisters
I like
or
it.
Alice,
I'm on board.
especially with this film. Rashida Jones and Bill Murray were great together.
Yes.
And the subtle comedy was outstanding
Oh.
through the whole first half of the film.
So good.
Then the story was lighter
Yeah.
and calmer than I would expect from Coppola.
Come
So
and
I was a
knock on
little
our
surprised.
door.
So I was a little surprised. I enjoyed the film a lot,
Me too.
but I found the end kind of lost me
Yeah.
when it got all predictable and expected, and not as powerful as I had hoped it would be.
Yeah, maybe that's
In
family.
fact, at the end, when we walked out of the theater, my wife turned to me, and the only thing she said was, "Meh."
She did not.
Yes, she did. And that was pretty much summed up my thoughts. I liked it, but did not love it. This was not the same level of intensity that I was expecting from the same director as Lost in Translation.
No, but this was totally different movie. She's branching out.
So she's writing Three's Company skits now?
Yeah. Come
Dude,
and knock on
no.
our door.
No.
We've been waiting for you.
No.
Where the kisses are hers and
I believe
hers
This was
and
like-
his. Three's Company.
This was like
too.
there was a writer up until the
That's
middle of the
TV,
movie.
Bryce.
And I'm pointing this direct at you because he's madly in love with Sophia Coppola.
Yeah.
So that's why he can't see the flaws in this movie.
Oh, I saw
But there
them.
was a different but he's choosing not to. So you heard it here first,
No,
folks.
I'm not choosing not to.
Yeah. No,
Some-
you're choosing not to
sometimes when
because this
there's-
was two separate films. The front of the film,
Was-
which was great,
Fantastic.
and then the back end of the film, which lost all its comedy and all of its originality and all of its Coppola.
I would say the last 5 minutes were
No.
not
No,
fantastic.
it was like right from the time. No.
And then
No. 5 minutes is not enough to go back. There was a lot of bad
Eh.
that happened in the back half of this movie.
It was
Okay,
all right.
well, I guess you can't. It's kind of like, so Murray, when we hate some of the films that you have so much love for from
Yes,
the 80s,
I know.
this is exactly, that you should now understand Murray better.
This was Mondo.
This was not Mondo. This was a man.
Bill Murray was in Mondo.
He was a Mondo.
This could have been a Mondo.
Yeah,
was a
Rashida
Mondo.
Jones. Rashida
Hoping-
Jones.
She was awesome.
She was also
She was
awesome.
Mondo.
Yeah, actors don't make Mondos.
That's true.
Direction, story, and actors make Mondos.
Oh, there was
Murray, let's hear what you had to say on this one.
Well, there is probably no bigger Bill Murray fan than me.
It's
'cause
true.
I do love the Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I love Murray all the time. And
He's loving himself right
Lost
now.
in Translation, one of my favorite all-time movies. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be just like that.
No.
But I figured with same director, same actor, it would have the same kind of
Intensity.
sharp edge,
Yes.
intensity.
Not Three's Company taking
Good
over the
moments.
back end of the
No,
movie.
Three's Company, but well written.
For the most part,
And funny.
Bill Murray and Rashida, they had great chemistry.
They did.
They did.
She obviously has some talent. Unfortunately, her character was just blah. Like, I don't know. Like,
No.
the whole movie, she thought that her husband was cheating on her, and based
Well, she
on
wasn't
her,
completely sure.
based
Yeah.
on her life, yeah, he probably would have been, because she was boring. I know you have kids and stuff, but she dressed in sweats, gray sweats.
No
all the
wonder
time.
he was thinking of.
Like, I'm not a big fashion fashionista, but Man, her wardrobe was horrible.
Yeah.
Like not even when she's down in Mexico or whatever, she couldn't even like brighten it up a little bit. She still had a frumpy dress on.
We're critiquing her wardrobe?
No, but it made
This
the
is
character.
Joan
What is
Rivers
this?
minute
Who
moment.
wore it best? What are we doing here?
It made her a boring character, and they cast as her husband Damon Wayans, who was
What's wrong with
supposedly
that?
one of the funny Wayans brothers.
He's also now becoming a dramatic
Exactly.
actor.
who was not funny, was just
No.
boring. His character was boring too.
He was kind of boring.
So,
but
yeah,
that was what his
That
job
was-
was.
He was supposed to be.
He was. They said, "Okay, here, what you got to do, Damon? You have to pretend
To be boring.
that you're Mr. Potato in this
yeah,
movie."
Exactly. He was
And
a
he
potato.
nailed it.
That's
He was a
not
potato.
He played. He said, "We want you to pretend you're Mark Ruffalo playing this character," and he nailed it.
Yeah. So the moments when Bill and Rashida were out in the city having their adventures, hilarious.
And good.
And I suspect On the Rocks has more to do with their drinking than her marriage, because they got drunk wherever they went,
They did do a lot of
which I
drinking.
enjoyed. But yeah, the story itself, and yeah, again, the ending was.
So it was a meh then.
It was a high meh, but it was a meh.
So 2 mehs and a mondo, people.
It was Mondo.
It was meh.
No.
And you can fight for it all you want,
And say all you
but
want, don't make
Three's
it so.
Company has never made a mondo episode, even if when it's well written.
I don't know. I had a few.
Until now.
Nope. Okay, what else
Mondo.
did we see? We saw.
I guess.
We saw The War with Grandpa.
War with Grandpa,
Now we're
which
talking about a mondo.
I dragged Jim to, knowing he probably wouldn't like it because it looked kind of stupid, but I thought it'd be funny. I mean, you got seniors throwing dodgeballs at kids.
Oh, that's
I know,
hilarious.
right?
Who doesn't love
so
that?
funny.
Who doesn't love that?
It was like dodgeball, but for grandpas.
Yeah, so this is like the third
so
movie
good.
with De Niro and Christopher Walken. Of course, the first being The Deer Hunter. This was not quite that
This
kind
was
of a movie.
This was Deer Hunter quality.
And
This
the
one.
second one was some stupid thing called Mistress, which apparently had nothing to do with women or sex. It was something. It was a screenplay in Hollywood, and I'm like, I don't know. It bombed, whatever it was. So I consider this the second movie with the two of them. But yeah, he was a
If you
good.
can forget about that one,
he was a good
please forget
BFF.
about this one.
And actually, Eugene Levy was actually supposed to be in this.
Oh.
He was cast. This movie was shot 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
And he was supposed to be in it originally. And I looked, and he's not even a producer. Like, he's gone. So I don't know if they replaced him with Cheech. I don't know what. But I would have loved to have seen Eugene Levy throw
Cheech was
dodgeballs
awesome.
at kids. Would have been awesome. But yeah, it was based on a children's book, so you
Was it?
pretty much
I didn't
expected
even know
that's
that.
what it was going to be. And
Apparently, you should have done some research.
there you
should've.
go. And
Murray's here.
yeah, that's pretty much what we got. We got a Disney Channel...
Original.
yeah, homage to Home Alone, I guess you could
So,
say.
what do you think? Was it as mondo?
Is definitely not a Mondo.
Aw.
I would definitely give it a high man. I mean, they had some
A
scenes.
high meh?
High.
I might go higher.
You, Michael. Yeah, I was actually surprised when Jim turned to me and said this was actually 10 times better than I thought it would be. And that I just about fell down right there.
10 times 0 is still 0, Jim.
But yeah, no, it had some funny moments. I didn't like the kid very much. It wasn't very likable. But the
He
rest
was
of
the
the family
bad
was
guy.
good. And Uma Thurman was good. And little also
Uma Thurman was
trivia.
good?
Now.
Uma Thurman and Christopher Walken.
I'm next.
They both played Batman villains. Oh
my God.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well,
no, I enjoyed it.
let me tell you what I thought of it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Cheech, De Niro, Walken, Thurman, solid cast.
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour, Dr. Quinn. I went into this expecting a terrible film that would be predictable and annoying, and I already had started at, as Bryce had maybe alluded to, a 0, but it was actually a 1 because I figured Christopher Walken's in it. This is one of Bryce's things. If Christopher Walken's in it and he's funny for 2 minutes, it takes it to a meh. So I'm just
Right.
pre-warning people.
That was one case.
No, that's every case. You just literally gave Sophia Coppola's meh movie a mondo. So your taste this week is not necessarily the judgment.
Whatever.
So, first off, what are the things I did not like about this movie? Number one, with a bullet, is Uma Thurman. Pretty much the entire film, she was practically just dialing it in, and I did not feel she had any intensity that we would expect from an actress of her caliber. So that was the first thing I did not like. Sorry, Murray. I thought she was terrible. Predictability was pretty constant through this entire, what did you call it? Made for Disney movie?
Yeah, basically.
But the predictability
Very good.
became a warm glow as this film started out with a bang. Yes, seniors abusing the condescending grocery manager, with one even throwing a tomato.
That was
when the
good.
guy threw the tomato, I lost my shit. I thought that was the funniest scene they could have put in that movie.
What is wrong with you two?
It was hilarious. The tomato was the best thing. It's like all this stuff is coming at him, and then all of a sudden the guy winds up and
What I love
throws
is
a tomato at him.
when De Niro's like on the ground and all these seniors and this old lady comes up and starts defending him and starts beating up on,
It was awesome.
on the clerk.
I know. This fact alone made me laugh for literally 5 solid minutes in this movie. That, on top of all the genuine interaction that I felt De Niro had with his family, made this a heartwarming, fun family adventure that I did not hate being on. I went in thinking I was going to be annoyed by the annoying kids, which I normally do, but I only really wanted to punch them in the face for about the first 10 minutes, and then they just kind of grew
Last
on
10
me.
minutes.
Also, the little sister, played by Poppy Gagnon, was, in my opinion, one of the 3% of kids that are so adorable you just want to hug them up and pinch their little cheeks. They are
Totes
little cutie
adorable.
Were
pies.
you watching the same movie as
Yeah,
me?
she's adorable.
Oh, God.
And even your girlfriend thinks she's adorable.
And she loved
And
Christmas.
she knows what's good.
Uh-huh.
The rest of the kids, they weren't as annoying as I thought they would be. Gets a PG rated. Becky meets the parents, meh, for adorable kids with good writing and not making me hate a PG rated kids movie. Notice how I didn't mention Home Alone?
Yes.
Oh, cover my ears and scream, ah! I'm now going to use Becky for the new generation of Home Alone-like movies.
Yeah.
Favorite line? Fish and relatives stink after 3 days.
Are you done?
Yep.
I believe he is.
Did you say good writing in your review?
Yes, I did.
What is wrong with you?
It was almost as good as Sophia Coppola's writing in the last half of her movie.
Just about.
I'm sorry, what did you rate it?
It's a meh.
Okay.
Because Christopher Walken, he's funny. It was awesome.
Teach Marin.
Tomatoes.
Okay, The War with Grandpa. That's what it was called, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He died in his sleep while skydiving. That line was delivered by Christopher Walken, and it was the only thing that was funny in the whole movie.
Yeah, no.
This was beyond bad. I am now worried for Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Cheech Marin, Uma Thurman, and Jane Seymour, as they must be pretty hard up for cash to be in this. This sat on the shelf since 2017, and it took the pandemic we are currently in for it to see the light of day. It is sad that theaters are so hard up that they would waste one of their screens on this trash. Of course, what do I know? As this was what the #1 movie of last weekend.
Exactly, dum-dum.
Of course, Hocus Pocus from 1993 starring Bette Midler was #3.
Yes.
So that must say something about the health of our cinemas, but I digress. Rage, rage, rage. This movie was borderline unwatchable.
Aww.
You guys are broken.
So
No.
glad we made him watch it. Then.
Yeah, I'm glad. This, if nothing else, I've been rewarded wholeheartedly.
Yes, me too.
And he said he wasn't going to watch it, so I'm kind of glad he did.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Okay, well, let's move on because I could probably talk about how much funny things were in that movie.
Good.
Like the whole dodgeball game. That was awesome.
Cheech Marin's teeth.
Cheech Marin's teeth. That was trying to catch his teeth. It was streaming consciousness of actual dodgeball
Yeah.
with old people and kids. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Why are we
Everything would have
still
been better.
just let's move on. I don't want to talk about this freaking piece of crap anymore.
Oh, poor. Do you want to talk about Sophia Coppola
Yeah, let's talk about Sophia Coppola.
and how terrible the back end of that film was?
it wasn't that bad. It was actually
terrible.
quite good.
No, it wasn't. You even called it like that is not.
No,
that's
no.
not.
I
That is
said-
not.
I said the
no,
very-
no, no, no.
no, the
You
very-
cannot throw something out there and not have people pick it up. You used the words Murray, what's that
the very end.
terrible television show that he actually brought out?
Yeah, but
Three's Company.
Now it's in my mind. I can't get rid of it.
But
It
with-
was a Three's Company episode.
but with good writing.
Yeah, no, that's
And it was funny.
No, that's none of that is true.
It's all true.
No.
I am a teller of truths. That's what I'm known for.
Yes, and the War with Grandpa was not.
People
as
say
terrible as he
describe
says.
describe Bryce is in a couple of words, and they say he's a truth teller.
That's not what they say.
That's what they say.
Maybe to your face.
No, I've overheard them when they knew I wasn't there. I've overheard people saying that about me.
You should hear some of the things I say. I mean, other people have said about you.
All right, move on to this other thing.
Hope
And
Gap.
with Hope Gap.
Okay. Hope Gap.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk
this
about Hope
is
Gap.
written and directed by William Nicholson, stars Annette Bening, Bill
Does.
Nye, the acting guy,
Nice.
Josh
guy.
O'Connor, and a bunch of other people. But those are the main ones.
I never know how to say his name. I've seen it Nye, but some
Bill
people
Nye.
are saying Nye.
Some people say Nye.
Nye.
It's just better to call him Bill Nye, the acting guy.
Then it can be the acting guy. 'Cause
Right,
If he's
it
Bill
makes-
Nye, the acting
Bill
guy.
Nye, the acting guy. Maybe. It kind of fits.
Anyways,
First, I have to mention how much I love Annette Bening, by the way. And Bill Nye, the acting guy. Mm-hmm. I had real issues at the very beginning listening to Annette Bening in this, and you know what I'm going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
As her accent from the very beginning was awful. It must have changed 7 times. Was she doing Scottish? Was she doing Irish? Was she doing British? I couldn't tell.
It wasn't consistent.
But after a few missteps, I want to say the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie, it was awful. And then she finally got it in order because, as you know, by this point, I was already annoyed. So I started really focusing in on everything she said.
Forget everything else.
For everything else,
Let's
the
just
dialogue,
concentrate
nothing mattered at that point. But yes, I felt she really got it under control. And the last, 90 minutes or whatever, it was fantastic. The acting in this was incredible.
Wasn't
the
it?
story and the characters were so well developed. I loved the arc of Annette and her son, Josh O'Connor. There are so many complex feelings that come from Benning's character, and the son's journey were equally rewarding. It was a great ending to a great family dynamic film. I loved every single thing about this. Favorite line, marriages don't bleed, but it's still a murder. Or, this one actually made me laugh for about 5 minutes too. So
Yes.
it's not as equal as the tomato.
Oh, it's just stop
but
with the tomato.
I thought there was 3 unhappy people, and now there's only 1.
Yeah.
That was the line.
It was the truest thing
It
that
was
could
the-
ever be spoken.
I
too.
know, right? It was
It's
so
like-
good.
It's like, you know what?
That was what snapped her out of it.
It's
Right?
There were 3 unhappy people. Now there's only 2. Or
Now
1.
there's only 1.
Sorry, 1.
So what do you think? It's a super mondo for me.
Super Mondo. Bill Nye's Mondo. This performance as Edward is one of my favorite ones of the year. This was award-worthy stuff. So you were like infatuated with Annette Bening. I was more infatuated with Bill's.
No, I prefaced this at the beginning that they were both awesome.
Yes. This story of Grace and Edward's marriage coming to an end after 29 years is lifted beyond its potential by the performance of Bill Nye, in my opinion. The writing is also very good, with little attentions to detail, such as Grace and Edward having desks in the same room but looking out different windows with very different views. Kind of parallels them. The scene where Edward asks Grace why she always drinks only half her tea, with Grace responding, "I suppose it's because I don't like things to end," was a roadmap for the rest of the story.
Yes.
This movie is very, very good. But is it Mondo?
Oh yeah, it's definitely better than Sophia Coppola's movie.
The performance of Bill Nye is enough to make this Mondo, so I say yes. Bill Nye takes this movie from a high meh to Mondo with the performance of the year. This was Mondo.
He was great. You know what? I love the complexity of these characters.
Yep.
I thought the writing was very on point for the whole
The
movie.
writing was so good.
Even with Bill Nye.
The director was good. The way that it's just everything.
Yeah,
It was
this
very
is-
well made.
This
film.
is probably going to be in my top 10.
Wow.
The emotions, yeah. And a lot of that, I could really connect with Benning's character in it. Because, I mean, she's the real focus of the story. Bill Nye is somewhat of a peripheral character, to be, in my opinion. Not that he didn't do an outstanding job, because he was brilliant. But he's brilliant in everything, so it's not like...
He blew me away. Like, he's always brilliant, but this performance blew me away.
Oh. But even what's his face? Josh O'Connor. He did a great job, too. Like,
he's good.
His character was kind of the anti-Christ,
Kim made me watch an episode of The Crown after, so I could watch him as Prince Charles.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. It actually was pretty good.
It wasn't as terrible as you thought?
It was all right.
Murray, he just said something about TV.
I know. Isn't that against the rule?
It is a little bit. But he also brought in...
He already brought up Three's Company, so I guess we're just breaking rules.
Breaking rules all along.
That's true, he is.
Wow, that was a journey. Murray, did you end up seeing this one?
No.
Right.
Funny enough, it's actually on TV, because I saw it on Crave the other night.
What? It's already
So I could have watched it, but, work.
It was supposed to get a release early in the year, and then COVID happened. And then shit. And then...
Well, Crave got a hold of it, so they have it now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
check it out where you can, because
watch
it's worth
it at home on your TV screens if you have.
Oh,
Crave.
This is a real good warning for someone's rage.
Just saying.
All right. Well, what do you say we dance?
Are we dancing? We're doing. We're not doing the other one. I forgot.
No.
What other one?
Is
there another one?
No, the thing that we're not doing anymore.
Dancing.
There's a thing we're not doing anymore?
No, not this week. We're dancing.
I don't even know what we're not doing.
Streaming.
Oh!
Motherfucking streaming. We're just streaming. And Murray, did you do any something?
Hey, before we do that, though, what's coming out next
Bryce?
week, Jim?
Hey, Bryce. Have you been doing some streaming?
No, I was just wondering what's coming out next week.
And we don't want to talk about it because it's not worth it.
All right, fine.
And we're not going to necessarily be here next week. Sort of.
Also true.
You're gonna
somewhat
something. Don't
sort
tell
of.
people untruths. There's going to be a podcast.
There's
next
a
week.
special edition next week.
We'll go into that later.
Yeah.
You're always just getting way ahead of things, Jim.
I didn't get ahead of anything. Murray knew everything that was happening. So,
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Read my
Streaming.
emails.
Dick Johnson is dead.
He
No, really?
isn't. Nope.
No, he's not.
That's disappointing then.
Yeah, it's kind of false advertising. I feel like there's a lawsuit that could be filed.
Totally, I'll sue.
All right, so Dick Johnson
Get
is
him,
dead.
Tiger.
Documentary, I guess, from 2020. Okay, unique documentary that is funny and sad all at the same time. The filming of Dick Johnson dying over and over again, Groundhog Day style, was for the most part quite amusing, and the overall contrast between the humor and the heartfelt moments was well executed. This film, in which so much was based in fantasy, is one of the more real films you will experience. The love that Kirsten Johnson, the director of this film, has for her father, who is starting to reel from the effects of dementia, is quite clear. And it seemed to be a type of therapy for everyone involved in the process. I like this one a lot. It was a high, Matt.
Oh, there you go. You liked it a lot. Well, this doc, in my opinion, suffers from the trailer is better than the film syndrome. It seemed like this doc was going to be hilarious and fun.
It was.
And it was at times. But there was, in my opinion, too much time with the director talking too much with her dad and not really showing the hard items, in my opinion, that needed to be shown that were happening in this film that we did not see.
Okay.
There was too much, I think, pain that was happening around. We just got to see little snippets, which, in my opinion, when she'd come in afterwards and start talking about the fact that, this is this and this is that, we never saw that. We never saw the downside of her dad.
No, and I think that was the point.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm thinking is I didn't enjoy it as much because I was expecting that.
Okay.
I was expecting two things. Number one, I was expecting to see the actual package of the movie that she was creating for her dad dying all the time. But we just saw little clips sprinkled here and there between different things. They had that one scene that had it was like the big grandiose scene, which I was expecting to see be as the end.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't think it was edited the way that I was hoping that it would end up being. I didn't hate this movie.
That's fair.
I didn't hate it. I just think that I think what should have happened is she should have wrote it and someone else should have directed it. I think we would have got a more real story than what we got, which was maybe it's just a love letter to her dad and she wants him to see it before she goes. And that's good. But when you have a documentary that you're advertising, he's dead. Not that I wanted him to die, because I'm glad that he's not, because he's a cool dude. But I think that she didn't make it as hard for us to watch as it could have been if it was in a different director's, because it's her own dad. I don't think she wanted us to see that his demise like she did her mom.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So it caused it to still stay a meh for me. Otherwise, if I think there was harder things to watch in this, I would have given it a Mondo.
Hey, Jim.
What?
Speaking of she should have wrote it and someone else should have directed it.
Oh, let's talk about the 40-year-old version. Not virgin. Version.
Yes.
Radha is a down-on-her-luck New York playwright who is desperate for a breakthrough before 40, reinventing herself as a rapper. Ragamus Prime?
Like Optimus.
Like Optimus.
Just getting that now.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't even see it.
When it was in the movie. Anyway, I thought this was cool, and I liked kind of how it was written.
Yeah.
And from this, in my opinion, hilarious black woman going through midlife crisis.
Yep.
When she turns 40, so quick wit written, with quick humor and creative comedy and rap. And I'm not even a fan of rap, but I do like spoken word and poetry slam. So I was really enjoying that part of the movie. I found I laughed pretty much through the first 40 minutes. And then shit got super serious, almost the Coppola syndrome from I talked earlier, and stayed that way through the end of the film. I liked it a lot.
Syndrome.
Yeah, that's my new term for that.
Whatever.
I liked it a lot, but I found it a little predictable and turned more mainstream and not as edgy as the film, I think, started with. It started edgy and went mainstream. Gets a funny as fuck, but then took a turn to a cutesy man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Radha does next.
Yeah.
My favorite line was dry vag and sleepy tits.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Delicious. All right. So the 40-year-old version. First off, I have to say that I like Radha Blank, who is the star, writer, and director of this film. That was evident after watching this movie. The movie, on the other hand, had some shining moments, but on the whole, it was just okay. The scenes with Josh Whitman, played by Reed Birney, were quite amusing, while shining a spotlight on something worthwhile can sometimes fall into the traps of commercialism. There's an honesty to this movie that got punctuated by the cutaway interviews with members of the Harlem community. Most of this really worked well. The limited use of color that was splashed into this were effective. I am guessing that Radha has had her work compromised in the past by outside forces, and that would explain why she chose to direct this. However, I feel this could have been a more cohesive experience in the hands of a more experienced director. I wish she wouldn't have directed this. I think it could have been really, really good.
Yeah.
Without her doing everything.
But did you get the same feeling as me? Is that it was almost like two acts? And the first act had all that great comedy and edginess and grittiness that the film, that was I was expecting. Yeah. And then it just kind of slowly started to develop into this mainstream kind of love story.
Honestly, Jim, it was just too long. This clocked in at over 2 hours. And for this story, I'm not sure we needed that long to tell it.
Yeah.
And I think that had you had your two halves of the movie, but the back third was... it was an hour of the funny and a half hour of, I think it wouldn't have dragged as much at the end. Still likable characters, funny bits, but it's a man.
I'm super looking forward either to more of her writing.
I want to see her more.
Maybe her next direction.
Yeah.
Well, because maybe this is such a personal journey for her.
Yeah.
It's again, maybe this is it. This 40-year-old version and the film we just talked about. These are cases where they're too close to the project.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you're too close to a project, you're not getting
its
full benefit.
Yeah,
maybe.
I truly believe that that she's had work in the past that that she's done.
Yes.
That probably got twisted in a way that she was like, that's not really what you
wanted.
And so I think she just, with this, she got the okay to do everything. And she said, I'm doing everything. That way it gets done the way I want it. And for that, much respect. However, I wish she would have found just someone she trusted to direct it and went that way.
Well,
it was,
and I guess if you're going to write
I think she probably fell in love with everything she filmed, because this coming in at over 2 hours. This is not an over 2 hour story
plot
to tell.
Agreed.
But I love her, and I look forward to seeing her more. I look forward to seeing her name as a writer more. I think she's great.
She could be in everything, and I'd be happy.
Cool. Oh, God. So The Cleansing Hour streaming on
Shudder. Actually, the previous two were on Netflix.
Both on Netflix, yeah. So this was on Shudder. Dum dum.
Dum dum dum.
No, that's Shudder. The dum dum.
Dum dum.
Yeah, that's what when you click onto Shudder, it goes dum dum.
Oh yeah, and then it's got the actual John Carpenter music.
Dum dum. Anyways.
Dun dun.
Dum dum. Hey, I did it really good that time. That was good. Dum dum.
Okay. What did you see? The Cleansing.
Sometimes I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. The Cleansing Hour. That's what we were talking about, right?
Did you feel cleansed after seeing this movie?
No. This was based on a short from 2016 directed by the same dude, Damien Levesque. The story of a staged online exorcism that goes wrong is a decent enough concept. The effects were okay and the actors were okay. Some of the characters were not developed as much as I think was needed, especially the eventually possessed Lane. Not sure how this all came together. It just makes for a fairly enjoyable journey. It was a meh. That's all I got. oh no, I got one more thing.
Oh, what?
Dum dum.
Oh, there you go. Now I feel completely satisfied. Satisfied.
It was meh.
CGI Demon Hell.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, let me start again. CGI Demon Hell. It had a very interesting plot idea, sort of.
Yeah.
Nothing really horrifying, and the concept of a fraud priest pretending to be something is not new or original, but I felt that this integration to the audience was done okay.
Yeah.
I mean, were you surprised that a priest wasn't being honest about something?
No, that's
kind of their thing.
For the course.
Kind of their thing, isn't
what they put down on their resume to get
Exactly.
hired.
Exactly. And plus a few other
I don't know.
things.
Do they apply for those jobs? I don't know how.
I don't know how
that works.
They just come out of the seminary. Here you go.
Here, I'm a priest.
There's probably other questions, but who knows?
Okay.
Did not love this film, but I also did not hate it.
Yeah.
Even with all the crappy CGI, and there was a lot of crappy CGI in this movie.
I don't know why it didn't bother me as much as it did you, because I'm usually raging about CGI.
I know, but this probably because there was real blood with terrible CGI.
I just think that the pool lowered the bar so low.
Yeah, that we couldn't get any worse than
that it's
CGI.
like, it's not so bad.
You're 100% right. I did like the play of the demon and his crazy sense of humor. Lack of sense of humor. Yes. I did laugh at it a few times, which gets extra points. Gets a sassy drag queen, demon death, evil priest, learns a lesson, low meh.
There you go.
Mostly for the demon play. Is that a sex thing, by the way? Demon play?
I don't know, but I'll try
If not, it should be.
Yeah. I'm going to do some demon play tonight.
So what? I don't know what. You have to tell me what it is later, but I'm kind of interested now.
I'll try to find out, and I'll try to make it happen. We'll see.
Sweet. Murray's like...
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
That's me moving on, by the way.
Oh, good. Well done, Murr. So, my rage this week stems from the fact that I saw a children's PG-rated film this week.
I'd be raging about that too.
And I didn't hate it.
What?
So, the rage is actually at myself.
Yeah.
because this was not me. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened
I
either,
don't
Jim.
know. This would be the perfect rage movie for me.
Just keep on piling on yourself,
but
Jim.
because it had terrible, annoying fuckers that I wanted to punch in the face.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I had such a good time at this movie.
What
I don't
is
know
wrong
why.
with you?
You know, here's the thing I think it is. And it's again, keeping in mind this rages at myself, so people know.
Yes.
Because, you know, I want to feel the rage that I normally have at these kind of movies. But I just figured that maybe, just maybe, sounds like a line that's coming up from The Grinch. Maybe, just maybe, my heart grew 10 sizes that big that day. No, I think this is what we've talked about this before, and I think this was the moment that it really hit me. When you are in a certain mood and you go see a movie or you watch a movie, it completely have an effect on your head.
There's no question, especially comedies.
Yeah, and comedies are one of those things. If you think that comedy is stupid, and here was the thing that the movie itself is one of those movies that, you know, you'd think could never happen. But in my opinion, this everything that they did to each other wasn't outlandishly crazy. Like when you watch Home Alone now, you're like, okay, first off, those kids would just blow Macaulay Culkin's fucking head off with a gun. That's what makes it even worse when you think about it now.
The thieves.
But this one, because they had set these rules up. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I don't want to talk about that movie again. But what I want to say is,
Apparently you do.
I'm kind of defending that I'm giving it a meh. But I need to get it off my chest. The fact that I think because I was in a joyous mood, in the mood for some silly comedy, and I was with my best bud in the movie theaters, that I was in a joyful place, and so I hate myself because of it. That is my rage this week.
You should hate yourself.
I really hate myself.
Good.
This may be the last time that I like that type of movie, but I'm going to say I didn't mind it.
All right.
And I've never loved you more.
All right, buddy. Beat that, bitch.
Okay, I'll actually have a rage instead of, I don't know what the heck that was.
I was raging myself.
You're raging at yourself. My rage this week is Disney. And the fact that they are trying...
Oh, that's a way better rage.
and the fact that they are trying to kill the cinema. It seems Disney is gearing up to change their method of distributing content to online streaming. They seem to have a plan to abandon the theaters and have their streaming platform debut basically all their productions. The days of the cinema seem to be numbered because as Disney goes, the rest of the industry tends to follow. This is a dark day for the movie theaters across the world. I told you before when they debuted Mulan online that I was very nervous about the future of the cinema.
You did.
And with this latest announcement, it seems that my fears have come to fruition. Things have never been more bleak for the movie theaters than they are right now. So I'm begging everyone out there to please buy movie tickets. Go to the theater, save our cinemas, and screw Disney. If you have a subscription to their service, you're voting with your dollars to close down the movie theaters. Please don't be part of the problem. That's my rage.
You know, I couldn't agree more. Well, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That's why I will never, ever subscribe to Disney.
Yep. Here.
Yeah, so I'm kind of dumbfounded because I 100% agree with that. But there was, in addition to the announcement, what was the announcement that Disney actually said? What did they say? They said we're never something, blah 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 something.
Basically, they're rejiggering their whole concept. It's going to be things are going to be debuting online. It's going to be like Mulan.
So they're not going to bring stuff
and they're
to the
moving
theaters.
Towards that complete
forever now, even when theaters ever come back.
Who knows? But their initial announcement got their stock up immediately because everybody's great. We went off because we're not losing money because they're basically just abandoning the theaters.
Did you happen to do, just for curiosity, obviously I'm not putting you on the spot, but did you happen to look into whether or not they've actually made their money back on Mulan yet?
That's an interesting thing that they haven't announced that yet. That's actually coming up at the beginning of November when they do their whatever quarterly whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're actually gonna have the numbers for Mulan, but that literally has not been.
Because do we also think then? This is just between us dudes, the sausage party that we have in front of us. Do we think that this is now going to change the price that they put into films? Because if you think of animation, the ones that go to the theaters that they've had for theaters have always been higher level animation, and that the ones that go straight to release have less money put into it because they have
on
B-list
on that
animators,
topic,
maybe?
Jim, that what is it, Soul, the Disney production Soul
Yep.
has now been announced that it is not going to theaters anymore. It is going directly online.
There you go.
So, and this is just this is a snowball going downhill.
Yeah.
It's gaining momentum, and it's making me sick.
Well, and this goes back to your earlier point that I'd had
Well,
about we need to have those movie theaters help this, or the movie production houses help the theaters.
Absolutely. Well, and let's expand this even further. I mean, what are film festivals going to do? All of a sudden, everything that's coming out is going to go directly to VOD.
Yeah.
It's just what's happening, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you're not going to. What are they going to program?
Yeah,
If
I
everything's going to video on demand.
Yep.
Nobody has to look for a theater anymore to even try to get released in a theater. I mean, this is changing everything, and not for the better.
No.
Like, this is going to kill the cinema.
The largest
And it's
British
making me sick.
movie theater just
Yeah.
went out of business this last year.
And all the ones in Ontario were ordered closed by
Yeah.
the government.
So this is this is now getting more scary. Other than people are still dying with this disease,
Yes.
but this could be the death of cinema.
Yeah.
Thanks, Disney.
Yep, pretty much.
And that's the whole thing. You know, people follow Disney because Disney's got the money.
Disney is evil.
They are.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Not gonna intro me there?
It's good, man.
You're supposed to introduce me.
Oh, sorry, the Merman Minute.
Yeah.
But wait,
Thanks.
I like to hear the music.
Well, yeah, but I had to do things. I was waiting for the intro.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Snapper Dapple.
didn't have much of one this week because, I don't know.
We talked a lot about movies.
Yeah. One thing everyone here at Film Rage can agree on, we hate rom-coms.
Yes, we do.
One thing that drives me
Well, we hate
nuts
Bryce
is
when he
the
likes rom-coms.
absurd age difference between the romantic leads. Pretty much in any movie.
I can't wait to hear this, by the way.
Recently, there was a Kate Winslet film from this year's festival
Yep.
called Ammonite. It features a lesbian affair between Winslet and Saoirse Ronan, who is 19 years younger. It's not totally unreasonable,
Yikes.
just a bit uncomfortable. Here are some truly icky
Wow.
connections.
Okay, I want to hear these icks.
Yeah, okay, let's hear 'em.
First up, we got Gene Wilder and Kelly LeBrock, Woman in Red.
Oh, yeah.
27
Way to go, Gene.
years. He was 51. She was 27 years
Yeah,
younger.
that's believable, right?
And not only
So
that, but the plot itself was creepy because basically he stalked her for the whole movie.
Yeah.
I know.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's
Jimmy.
funny. Then we got one of my least
Jimmy.
favorite people on the planet, Sean Penn and
Okay.
Emma Stone in Gangster Squad, which you guys talked about. 29
He's so
years.
good looking.
I mean, maybe it's because he was a gangster in the movie, so they usually
makes
hang
sense.
around with 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Look at the President of the United States.
Yeah, but it's like 29, 30-year difference. You're supposed to believe that she was supposed to feel anything for him at all. But anyway. Then we have, this one's really creepy,
All right.
Michael Caine and Michelle Johnson and Blame It on Rio.
Oh, God.
Which, if you've never seen it, it's a 33-year
And they look
difference.
it. Could have been his granddaughter.
He was 50. She was actually only 17. She had to get
Wow.
permission to be in the movie from the courts.
No
Because she
doubt.
wasn't old enough.
Did she show her boobies? Do you remember?
I don't remember the movie. I remember it was bad. But yeah, in
don't
the
remember
film,
either.
basically, his character has an affair with his best friend's daughter,
Yeah.
who sleeps with him on the beach, gives him a naked Polaroid of herself, and eventually tries to commit suicide out of shame. This is a
Makes
romantic
sense.
comedy?
It's hilarious.
It's love.
Hilarious. Then we got good old Jack. Jack Nicholson always likes the young women.
Yes, he does.
Although in this movie, Something's Gotta Give with Amanda Peet, apparently his character doesn't date women under 30, so that was part of the story, but still. 35,
He was too gross to want to
30
date. in that movie.
35 years. He was 66 years old. And he was, 35 years older than her. And it was just creepy. Then we got one of my favorites, Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones in Entrapment.
Interpant?
39 years.
Nice. Is there more?
Oh yeah, there's a whole list, but I've only got a few. But yeah, she was 30 years old and he was 69 at the time.
Yikes.
Not only was the romantic thing impossible to believe,
He's Sean Connery.
The audience is also supposed to believe that a 69-year-old thief would be capable of parachuting down a broken elevator shaft and scaling down buildings.
Remember, Catherine Zeta-Jones married Michael Douglas,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden this doesn't seem so far.
He still
Yeah.
isn't that old.
She digs
Holy
he is
crap!
now,
It's
but-
not.
She's a
Yeah,
G-
no,
she's
it was close. There was
Yeah.
it had to be a 30-year
She was a
gap
Jerry
between
digger.
them.
All right, then these last two are doozies. We got Tom Skerritt and Drew Barrymore in the original Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah,
42 years.
Yikes.
I know, but that was the whole.
He was
basis of the film.
59, and I guess she was 17 at the time.
Yeah,
I don't know, or I don't know if she was 17 because there's a lot of sex scenes in the movie.
there's quite a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just twisted. And then the last one
I kind of like that movie.
is, you know, there are some cradle robbing women too.
Yeah.
The queen of all is Ruth Gordon and Bud Cort and Harold and Maude.
Oh, that's,
yeah, but
that's an awesome movie.
It is an awesome movie.
52 years.
Yeah.
She was
Ruth Gordon's
75. And
Yep.
he was 23.
If I was
Nice.
23, I would have fallen for Ruth Gordon.
Oh, she was great.
Apparently, it's a romantic film with the morbid and aimless Harold meeting Maude while attending a funeral of a stranger.
It's one of the best
Yeah,
movies
it's,
ever
It's
made.
a very good movie.
Let
Yep.
the seduction begin.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it did.
Anyway, yeah, Hollywood just loves to do that. Anyway, that's all. I got.
Murray. We just when we thought we couldn't get more creeped out.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Now I'm going to think about Harold and Maude tonight.
Yeah.
You do that.
Okay, the list this week.
I didn't come up with anything because you said we had to talk about Ryan somebody.
Ryan Gosling,
That's
people.
the one. One of the Ryans.
Yes. Well,
He's so dreamy.
I put him forward last week. And apparently I was the only one that hadn't seen all his movies.
Yeah.
So I had to go see his movies.
Pretty much. I think that's all going to hang on La La Land.
I don't know. Maybe not. Because remember, I'm not a big fan of space exploration movies unless they're sci-fi.
Yeah.
I don't like sci-real. I like sci-fi.
What? First Man
like-
was
I like
based on a real
Cyril.
person?
Yeah, it's based on Neil Armstrong. First man steps on.
How is that sci-fi?
It's
It's not. It's
That's what
science
he's
fact.
saying.
I don't like science fact. I like
Oh,
science fiction.
All right then.
So I'm just gonna go back from. I have all of mine. You guys have already given yours.
Yep.
2013 was Gangster Squad, which was a Mondo.
Okay.
Only God Forgives, which was a meh. The Big Short was a Mondo. La La Land was a Mondo.
Wasn't it though?
It was a Mondo.
I mean,
And the
holy
reason
smokes.
why it's a Mondo,
I'm gonna agree.
is because it's not really a musical.
Okay. Well.
Kind of is.
There is music in it,
Yep.
but this is a complete homage to the 50s musicals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was more about the romance, and it had the perfect ending.
And it was just
The absolutely perfect
It was
ending.
just a lot of fun.
It was, yeah.
Should have won the Oscar, by the way.
No, it shouldn't have.
Yes,
But
it
it was still a Mondo.
Yes, it should have.
Okay. Well.
No. Song to Sing was a meh, so that's Mondo meh.
Yep.
We've got The Nice Guys, which to me was a Mondo.
Yep.
Blade Runner was a Mondo. Mm-hmm. And this is where we may have some problems. Is that First Man
All
was
it has
very
to-
boring.
All it has to be is a meh.
It was very boring.
You're not raging on First Man.
And I love Ryan Gosling, but unfortunately,
Wow.
it was a meh.
Oh. You
But I had to
me-
wait for the music to hit that spot.
Nicely done.
You had me going there, Jim.
I would
Ryan
have been
Gosling.
very upset if you had raged
is-
because you're the one who recommended him in the first place.
Hey, I hadn't seen the movie.
Yeah.
I had to put him forward because he had enough Mondos in his backpack.
In his backpack.
So we now have a new Undoubted, and it is Ryan Gosling.
there you go. His next movie better not be a meh, though.
Yeah, or else he's gone.
Or he's gone.
Well, we'll be having more discussion about that in a little bit.
And apparently we won't see it in the theater. We'll probably be streaming it.
But I am
He'll
putting
invite us over
forward,
to his house to watch it.
Cool.
seeing as how he came up in conversation
He's
this
probably
week.
got a nice TV.
Bet she
Yeah.
does.
I'm putting forward.
Oh, you got more.
I've got an Undoubted to put forward again,
All right, let's do it.
which I've seen all their movies. So,
All their movies.
well, I don't know how they identify. So I'm assuming it might be a there.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who it is,
Oh, I already
but the
know.
movie is who?
It's the Wachowskis.
I wish.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Well, you said there.
1995. Maybe they identify something different now. I don't know. I haven't seen this person since 2003 in a movie.
All right, go ahead anyways.
1995.
Oh, so
Just
they're
Cause was a Mondo.
Just Cause. That was with Sean Connery.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Mondo.
And then 1995, First Night, which was a meh.
Oh,
You met that one?
It was a meh.
Is it?
Do you think it was a Mondo?
No.
I
rage.
thought you would rage on it.
No.
A lot of people raged on it.
It's got a good cast.
Okay, just refresh my memory, because maybe I'm remembering this incorrectly.
First night, he played King Arthur.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Richard Gere played Lancelot. And basically, he falls in love with Lady Guinevere.
Oh, God. I don't know that was a meh.
I think it probably was, but you might have to go back and see it.
Let me think about this while you go on with the rest of
Okay,
it.
so
Good action scene.
then we've got The Rock, which was a Mondo.
That was what they had the stupid "We Will Rock You" thing going on in
No,
it too,
no,
right?
that was a different
That
night.
was a different night.
That was with
That
what's
was
his-
Knight's Tale.
Yeah, Knight's
which
Tale.
was a Mondo.
Yeah, which was a meh slash rage. But
Okay,
that's I'm not putting Heath Ledger forward.
Okay, just a second.
Okay,
though.
The Rock is a Mondo.
The Rock
Yes.
With Nicolas Cage.
With Nick Cage,
and
Steve Buscemi,
yeah,
and Sean Connery.
yeah. Okay.
It's a Mondo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Avengers.
I gotta think about
The
this one.
Avengers. The Avengers is a meh.
Oh, that event.
The 1998 Avengers is a meh.
Show.
1998 Playing by the Heart was a Mondo. And Entrapment slash Entrapant is a meh. Although I was sexually attracted to both of them in love, so the age difference didn't bother me. Finding Forrester was a Mondo. And this is the one that could ruin it for you. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was a meh.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was complete dog crap.
You are being
It's
very
the-
kind right
It's
now.
the biggest rage that there's ever been. What the hell are you even talking about? That movie was so freaking awful. You didn't think it was a freaking meh. You're not that dumb.
I was going to give it a Mondo.
No, you were not. Anyways, is that what? That couldn't have been the last one.
That was his last movie.
Okay, I don't even know what we
I
were talking
believe-
It's
about.
Sean Connery.
It's not his last movie.
He retired from acting.
Yeah.
He retired.
That movie broke him.
Oh my God! Yeah, if you take out the last movie, he had a shot, but even there, I think he went down in flames with a couple of things in there.
He became Liam Neeson.
So yeah, no, I'm sorry, Sean Connery's not.
People, you heard
Undoubted.
it here first. It's Bryce again that's made it a ruin.
Oh, it's you, Bendon. There's no way you thought that was anything but a rage. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was just so frick.
I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight.
Watch it again, please.
I'm going to. I'm going to go buy it first, and then I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You should spend money on it.
Yes. Well, we got one on.
We did.
Good news, people.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Hey, I actually didn't mind it, but a lot of people hated it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was awful.
I like Captain Nemo. He's cool. He goes in a boat underwater.
Oh my.
Not to
goodness.
mention, what's her name, Nikita, who was
Yeah,
who was
super
like
hot.
Mina from like Dracula.
Yeah, man.
It was just all bad.
So good.
You talk about bad CGI. There's the frickin'
The start of
the
it.
poster child for bad CGI.
Exactly.
All right then. That's all for the list, I guess. Eh?
It is.
All right then. Last time on Rage or Dare, Jim thought the new Dare bag was a Halloween trick-or-treater's bag full of delicious candy, so he dug his hand in and pulled what appears to be an apple filled with razor blades. When he pulled 9 lives, which we'd never even heard of. This week, both Jim and Bryce will have to either reach back into the apparent Dare treat bag, or will they come back to the safety and security that only my awesome bag of tricks can provide. Let's check in with Jim and see if Jim pulled a murderous apple, or was it a sweet caramel apple in disguise?
Well, Jim.
Well, this is going to create a lot of controversy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. First scene in the helicopter CGI was awful. It looked like he was not even on a green screen. It was on a blue screen.
Okay, I've already forgotten. What are we talking about again?
9 lives.
9 lives. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. which sets the stage for the rest of this CGI horror about to unfold. And Kevin Spacey, this guy was Kaiser Soze, for God's sakes. This is the same actor? The delivery and acting by Spacey in this was so terrible, and I mean so terrible, I swear to God, he thought he was dialing it in so badly. There must have been a reason, though, why he made this movie. Think, Jim. Think. Perhaps he was being blackmailed. Yes, that's got to be it. By one of the underage boys he was making advances of. And they said if he didn't make this terrible movie, destroying his career, that he would report him or something. It had to be the reason why he made this movie. Nothing else could have made sense.
Fair enough.
This must absolutely be the reason. This dialogue was so terrible, I thought to myself, what was the reason Kevin Spacey was not on our mesmerized list? Can you remember, Bryce? Oh, yeah.
I remember.
That's right. Because Bryce thought that The Life of David Gale was the worst movie ever made.
True.
And he is now wrong. Because I now live inside your world, and it is not that movie. It is 9 Lives. Just a reminder, this has quite a few of my most hated things in it. Just to name a few. Annoying children you want to punch in the face. Terrible acting, terrible script, contrived story, CGI animals that are terrible CGI in general. People who get stuck in animals, other people, or inanimate objects. I can't believe this is actually a subgenre that has more than one film in it. Comedies of things supposed to be comedy adjacent. Idiotic romance storylines in already done movies just to add more things that are annoying. Drunk cats, or just cats that are more annoying than kids that you want to punch in the face. Terrible predictable drivel. Unrealistic business made up facts to build suspense are just annoying and not funny or suspenseful. Pretty much every single thing about this movie. Who is this movie made for? Children? Adults? People in mental asylums? People with Alzheimer's who won't remember it after they saw it the day before? People trying to learn English using the simplest and most annoying words in the English language? Only thing good in this film was Christopher Walken. And that is why it pains me so much to say that it is unfortunate that he has to be now taken out of the mesmerized list by rule put forward by Bryce, specific to Kevin Spacey in The Life of David Gale. And since this movie was worse than that, unfortunately, Christopher Walken has now been removed from our mesmerized list. This was the worst movie ever made and gets a sadistic rage so powerful it has taken one of the most amazing actors off of our ever so fantastic mesmerized list.
Wow.
Favorite line.
Makes me sad, but I understand.
I use the newspaper in the poopy boxes, and I see your face all the time. This sums up the movie. It is a rage. I'm sorry, Christopher Walken.
Sorry, Christopher Walken.
You're going to have to make a whole bunch of good movies to try and get on our Undoubted list now.
Yeah, I mean, he made his bed. He's got to sleep in it. It's the way it goes.
He picked this, and Kevin Spacey was in this. So double whammy. He's not coming back.
So even if I didn't, he probably would have been booted off after this.
They would have been both.
It would have been a double boot.
This is literally the worst movie I've ever seen.
It almost makes me want to see it
I find that
now.
hard to believe. But
Yeah, please don't see this. I will pay you money not to see this movie.
all right.
It's awful.
Oh yeah, we got the other thing going.
Yeah, so we now
So
have to make a decision. I think we're going to go in the new Dare bag. There's been so much good in this bag already.
Yeah, it's such a...
It's literally had the
Plus-
worst movie we've ever picked.
Plus, it's brand spanking new, and it gave me actually a quite enjoyable
It gave you
movie
the best
first time.
pick. Okay, Mur, hold it up and let Bryce pull from this bag. Bryce and I will be watching this movie when we come back to regular programming in 2 weeks. But next week, you get a special holiday Halloween special.
All right, Jim, I have pulled the little piece of paper. I'm holding it in front of me. I'm not actually looking at it, though. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to get your reaction, and then I'm going to read it.
Whoa.
Okay, we've got a whoa. I think that might
Turkish Star Wars,
be... What the...
which is an actual movie. From what year?
1982.
1982.
Okay, once again, you got to look this up because it seems like. Have you done any research into any of these?
I did on this one, yeah.
Okay, so it is an
Yep.
actual. Okay.
Yep. And it's one of those ones I have a feeling that we're going to have a hard time finding.
Yep.
But I'm sure you can find everything because you have that talent. It looks like it was made, was it 2009?
No, 1982. It
Oh,
says here.
1982. There's another one here. Hold on.
There's more than one Turkish Star Wars.
Yeah, hold on. I looked this up before when they gave me this item.
All right then. I have no idea what to even say about this. What do you got to say about Turkish Star Wars there, Murray?
Anything exciting?
I'm sure it has subtitles, so I wouldn't want
It's
to watch it.
also pronounced, I can't pronounce this, but this is it. If you can read that in Turkish.
Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam.
Yeah,
Wow.
Turkish Star Wars.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we'll try.
Yeah, we're going to try our hardest.
We got 2 weeks to try.
Hey, this is only right up from Wikipedia. This film is popularly known as Turkish Star Wars due to its notorious unauthorized use of footage, music, and sound effects from Star Wars
yeah, good luck with
and
that.
other science fiction films. I can't wait to see this, actually.
Yeah, if it's got unauthorized music and stuff, it won't be on YouTube. I can tell you that.
Well.
Never know.
Lucas would have.
We're going to do our damnedest to find it. Apparently, whoever submitted this saw it, so I can't imagine that we won't be able to.
Maybe they can lend it to you.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
All right, then.
Well, this has been a great week. Thanks, Rages, for listening. Thanks, Extended Film Rage crew. Leonard Conlon is artistic vision. The Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Film Rage YYC, and on YouTube, and our website at filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So please go on to Apple Podcast and rate us, review us, tell us stuff, or our website. You can also say stuff, or on Podchaser, and comment often. And please, if you do anything, make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.